from what's taking place with the Comité pour Études Creole, the actual state of the Creole language in Dominica. Nous avons des spéciales bonjour pour tout le monde, tout le monde, à tout Creole Dominica aux Antilles. C'est un grand plaisir pour nous là avec nous, comme ici. Nous avons un grand chef là, grand patron là, monsieur Raymond Lawrence là avec nous, monsieur, nous, Annou Apwann. Et tout à l'heure, nous avons Simone Mathieu avec nous, messieurs, mesdames, nous avons pile, notre cake là avec nous, et puis nous avons partagé à Creole, nous avons mélangé un peu de anglais, un peu de créole, spécialement quand nous tout prêt à dépendance là, c'est pour nous mettre tête à nous ensemble, mettre ensemble pour nous fêter à dépendance de Dominique. C'est une grande exposition, un grand événement de culture créole, nous avons élevé l'un de l'autre. Good morning, Dominica. Once again, we have Raymond Lawrence, the doctor. I call him Dr. Raymond Lawrence, and Madame Sonia Rakpan. Also, we have Simone on our line. Good morning to you, Ray. Good morning to you.
Morning,
Madame Apwann, how are you?
To listeners to Q95. Bonjour tout le monde.
Of course,
bonjour,
and
bonjour.
how are things?
Q95.
How are things, Ray?
Tout bagaille ka marche bien, merci.
Simone, good morning.
Hey.
Bonjour.
Hey, bonjour Alex, bonjour tout
Ça
le monde.
rappelle, vous avez une plus belle.
Merci.
On mercredi,
Ça fait bien.
on mercredi pour vendredi, vous venez plus belle.
Merci Alex. Bonjour tout le monde qui a écouté nous, avec tout le monde qui a regardé nous à Facebook, YouTube. Bienvenue.
Okay, and we are live on the QFM Facebook page and YouTube channel, and you can hook up and get a view of the undeniable, the distinguished, and I must say statesman and cultural elder in Dominica, Ray Lawrence, also Madam Akpa, and Simone Ray. As usual, Keck. I mean, just give us a brief history because a different clientele, a different audience, as to the work of Keck, the formation of Keck, and what Keck has been up to for the last over 40 years, over 4 decades.
Yeah, in fact, Keck is celebrating its 43rd anniversary this year. It was founded in 1981. At the time, Walwyn Bully was Chief Cultural Officer. So he was instrumental as well in helping to set up Keck. And of course, there were people like Sonia Akpa, Gregory Rabes, Sonia Lloyd, persons like that. Marcel Fontaine. And Felix Henderson, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the early initiatives of Keck was setting up a Creole, introducing the idea of a Creole Day in 1981. And look at how Creole Day has sort of blossomed into this huge event as part of Independence this year. So Keck was very instrumental in introducing, setting up, organizing, planning, and implementing the Creole Day. In fact, Dominica was the first country in the world to introduce a Creole Day, and that led to influence the creation of the International Creole Day 2 years later. Another one of the early initiatives, Wadix, was the Creole Dictionary. So a number of members of Keck at the time spent hours, days. Sonia again was very much involved. Months turned into years. And after about 8 years or so, the dictionary was published. So that was the very first Creole dictionary. So in fact, we've had a Creole dictionary in Dominica for decades. And that Marcel Jamala Fontaine followed up with his sort of version using the content of the first Creole dictionary. And among other early initiatives of Keck was Heritage Day as well, which is kind of similar to Creole Day, but focusing on a particular community. And the idea, again, was to promote the Creole language. So the church service was all in Creole. The priests spoke, and his homily and everything, readings, everything, church songs in Creole, people dressed up in Creole wares, and the whole day, exhibition, cultural gala, the recognition of a cultural elder, all of those things sort of helped to make Heritage Day the huge event that it has become now as part of our independence celebrations. Keck has also done a number of publications through the years, apart from the dictionary. So you had publications like Powell Caddy and Me Bredex and Tim Gluches and Tilly Stwe Dominic these were some of the publications that Keck was able to work on. And then recently we launched which is what we're going to be talking about a lot today, the Annou Apwann Kwéyòl, which was really put together and compiled by Sonia herself, Agpa, Magali, Celestine, and Charlene White Christian. And that book, Wadix, is a very important book, I think, in the development, promotion, and preservation of Creole. I think it will be an asset to everybody who wants to learn to speak Creole. And now that we are trying to push the expansion of the teaching of Creole in schools, one of the tools that we want to present to the Ministry of Education is this book that can be used in the teaching. Because sometimes when you speak about the teaching of Creole, one of the first things that comes up, where are the books, where's the material, where are the resources? So we have a number of books. We have the dictionary. In fact, we have 2 dictionaries. You can say we're working on a 3rd one. And in addition to that, we now have a teaching tool and a learning guide that can be used in schools, to start off the Creole program in primary. So we hope that, given all the accomplishments and achievements of Keck and the publications that we have produced, that it will make it easier for the expansion of, because that's the goal, that eventually, maybe 2, 3 years, 5 years from now, 10 years, we will have Creole taught in all primary, all secondary schools, and at the Dominica State College. So these are some of the achievements of Keck and accomplishments. We have had a Mo Creole, and Sonia mentioned it recently, where we feature a word every day, Monday to Friday, on a radio program, Experience Creole. So in addition to that, we are doing other things. We're working on the Creole language policy. We're working on we have other publications in mind as well, other goals, other events, Creole events that we would like to implement. So we're hoping that with God's help and with support, we've submitted project proposals to places like UNESCO and so on. 1 or 2 local firms have offered to assist us with our publications. So we're hoping with God's help that we can accomplish more as time goes by.
And Sonia, you have been an original member of Keck, the Committee Poetic Creole. And during the inception or the metamorphosis of Keck, there were limited amount of words. As the world evolved, several new words come into play. We just have the advent of the computer age.
Yeah.
So new words must be formulated. Firstly, there's a standard. Dominica, we have a standard way of writing Creole.
Yes, there is a standard of orthography, we call it a writing system. It's not just for Dominica, Dominica, St. Lucia, Martinique, Guadeloupe, all the Creole speaking countries. I think Felix was very instrumental in part of the small team that came together to set up that writing system. Because ça c'est pas Dominique tout seul, Saint-Lucie, Martinique, Guadeloupe, nous ka Manila, nous ka écrit match Creole, c'est même bagay.
So there's a common understanding, a camaraderie.
Yes, between the islands. The only one is Haiti. You pas mettre nous ni des accents, asu accent grave, asu ila, mais Haïti, you ni yon. Mais pour nous quoi important pour mettre pour chaîne D peace. Ça c'est manière nous savent si on moun ka dit et ou ben e. Comme ça si moi dit moi P fait ça. OK matché P I avec accent acute. Mais si moi dit moi P I'm afraid. Ou ben il n'y a père qui ka vini côté nous, a priest. Il différent. Comme ça c'est accent grave.
And just for information, Sonia is a linguist, a retired public officer in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs dealing with diplomacy, international relations, protocol, and consular matters. And once again, she has been an original member of the group Keck. I mean, thousands of hours, was spent in putting a dictionary together. As a matter of fact, a revised version to include several of the new words.
Still working on.
What's the update on that dictionary?
We are in the process of editing. It is time consuming. lundi, mardi, nous jouons. Nous te gardé let. Tout ça, tous ces mots qui ont commencé avec B. OK? Nous tenons peut-être 20 pages. Nous passer 2 heures et demie. Et nous te ça fait 9.
9 seulement.
9 seulement. Puis, il y a exemple, il y a un mot ba. Il est tellement différent.
Ba.
Moi ça. Ba moi dire ça.
Quand on a dit ce mot exemple là, nous avons eu en anglais.
Ba moi ça.
Pour expliquer pour yo.
Ba moi ça. Please give that to me. Moi nous même ça trouver anglais là nous dit ba moi dire ça no va dire c'est pas même ba.
Non.
All right, it's more like, let me tell you something. Madame Lani Fouedi a toujours porté bas. She has arthritis, the lady has arthritis, she's always wearing socks.
Yeah.
La baye ba, c'est la bef kasoti. That's a very popular proverb. Okay, which means that people, the less fortunate people take advantage of them. Yeah. But it means low. And you hear that in English, you know. C'est jeune moun la ka toujou di sa. My fence are loaded.
Ouais.
C'est là ça.
Baye moi bon.
La baye ba, c'est la bef ka sorti. But I see young people say in Dominican English, yes. You will hear them say, what happened now? My fence are loaded. Yes, you understand? That's where it comes from. So, baby, ti baby a di, ba mwen ti bo. I di ba. So you see how many different meanings of ba. And so for each one, because what people have to understand is that what we had before, I mean, we call it a dictionary, but it's really a word list. So we had the word, the part of speech, the meaning. But this dictionary we're working on, we have the word, the part of speech, the meaning, a sentence using the word, a translation of the sentence, and the etymology, which is where the word originated from, where it came from. Vous connaissez, en Creole, nous ni presque tous ces mots à sorti français, mais ni mots qui sorti en Afrique, ni mots Kalinago, ni mots anglais, puis Creole nous ka servi en même temps que nous ka servi anglais, comme ça, il y a autant mots qui sorti en anglais. Comme ça, c'est ça qui est important.
How important to us, especially now, as we are saying, you know, quite a bit. We know there are several areas in Dominica that speak the language. You know, Grand Bay, Scott said, Vickers, Bagatelle. But then if you look at, let's say, the center of Dominica, how important is the Creole language as we look forward to allowing the younger people to be involved into the language itself? Okay.
Well, for one, Creole is part of our identity. It is who we are. It is part of our cultural heritage. Okay. If you look at words, all the words related to, for example, the national dress, wobduyet, jipon, chemise, all of these are Creole, and they are always in Creole. They have talk about wobduyet is wobduyet.
Yeah.
Mais c'est Creole. Moun pa ka di petticoat, you ka di jipon. Moun ka fi un jipon. The sheep, the chemise, which is like what I'm wearing, all of that, okay? Words to do with our cuisine, you know, kalalu and sancoch. People talk about sancoch, but that's a Creole word. I don't even know what is the English. I mean, English.
Sancoch.
Lamowi, yampepi lamowi, yampepe our song, all of this. So that's part of who we are. Yeah. Secondly, we are Slamba. When I always say that, bon Dieu mette nous la nuit là, ini Martinique,
ini Guadeloupe,
et puis ini Guadeloupe, et nous en mi-temps. So there is a lot of communication. I mean, between.
And so it is important to note, Ray. It's important to note, Ray, that this communication started way back when. Yeah. And to a certain extent, we are losing some of the closeness we used to have.
Yes.
You know, that closeness we used to have. That's why it's so important that you know, an institute like the Comité pour Études Creole is there to make sure we keep this language alive.
Yes.
It is so important for us, and we'll get into why we actually publish
book.
the special book. We will go into it. But right, not sure if you wanted to add anything on the importance of the Creole language to us as a people.
Yeah, well, exactly what Sonia says has been part of our culture and heritage. You said it as well, Radix, from way back when, and it has that language has influenced our culture before, and it has influenced the present day culture as well. It's all into our kadas music, our bouillon, our belle. We still sing all our belle songs in Creole, the folk songs of Sifla Motin, La Jeune Étoile. Ophelia, 99% of the time sings in Creole. Midnight Groovers is probably 100% Creole. You think Michael, Gordon Henderson. And in a way, we kind of take it for granted, but that's okay too, because it's just part of our lives. That's what we know. That's the music. Every time you hear kadas, you expect to hear that Creole. That is what gives that kadas that kind of identity and appreciation and understanding and resonance with everybody and appreciation. So it's been part of our lives, and on radio stations, you hear a lot of Creole as well. On certain programs, even in the news, you hear Creole news. On television, on GIS, you're hearing Creole news too, as well. So it's part of our lives, and we just have to try to, and Radix, you alluded to it, maybe in some parts of Dominica, maybe among some age groups, the use of the language is not as strong as it used to be. So that is where we have to fill in the gap. That is where we have to strengthen and build on what is already there, on what we should not lose. Because the thing with languages, Wadix, and as you all know, you can lose a language.
As in Trinidad and in Grenada.
And you mentioned,
Grenada.
In other words, if you don't use it, you lose it. Right? If you don't use it. And Wadix, you're right. They lost it in Trinidad, just called it, lost it in Grenada. It's easy to lose those languages if we're not careful.
Actually, there is a community in Trinidad that still speaks Creole.
Yes, the Paramin. Yes, I visited Paramin during Carrie Festa, but
it's just
essentially,
limited.
yes, it's not that the whole of Trinidad would speak it like before, and Grenada and so on. But the point is that you can lose the language, or it may not be as popular as it used to be, and that is where we have to be careful now to try to really encourage and get all age groups involved. And that is where the teaching of Creole in schools is important, so that children, from the time they enter school, even if they don't get it at home, but they will be getting it in school. By the time they leave primary school, they have an understanding of the words. They can write Creole. When they go to secondary school, same thing, and even on a higher level. And so that it would mean all children in school, all school children would get that foundation and exposure, and that would create greater appreciation and the use of the language. So that is where that teaching of Creole in schools is very important, apart from all the other programs that we can do and the books and so on. So we really have to appeal to the Ministry of Education to really help us with expanding the teaching. We did introduce teaching of Creole in schools, Wadix. So Dominica, we were able to introduce maybe some people feel we don't have teaching of Creole in schools, but we already introduced it in 2019. There were 19, we started off with 19 primary schools in Dominica, but it was COVID that threw the whole thing off kilter. And during COVID, in fact, we lost a lot of the teaching of the Creole in the primary schools. But when they went back to school, then some of the schools were able to resume. So now we want to bring it back to what it was and to take it further, to let all the schools in Dominica, primary and then later on secondary, really learn, because we feel that will have a big impact on helping to preserve and promote.
And that's what we have.
If I can add real quick, Wadix and everyone, I like that we mentioned that Dominica is in the middle of two French islands, because the other thing we have to consider is I once did an interview with Gordon Henderson, and he said the only reason that he and the other people who popularized Kadas were able to be successful is because they spoke Creole. So I think it's a missed opportunity for Dominicans who do not speak Creole, because we have these two more populated islands, north and south of us, where if we have the ability to speak Creole, there are economic opportunities. And even in more recent times, we see the popularity of Bouillon artist Rio. And I interviewed him as well. And one of the things he mentioned is that he was actually raised a little bit in Guadeloupe. Then he moved back to Dominica. And then he had to relearn to speak Creole, because that again opened doors for him. So, there's so many levels of why this Creole is important, why we have to continue to push for us to speak Creole. And we're seeing that St. Lucia, which is our sister island, is so much further ahead of us. Now we're seeing the complete implementation of Creole in St. Lucia schools. We see Creole in Parliament. So I think they've created a model for us to emulate. But again, as Raymond just mentioned, we need the support from the Ministry of Education, because we as KEC cannot do it by ourselves. And then the other thing is to extend a special appeal to KEC members, because we have over 40 members, but when you see the meetings and who's in the WhatsApp, it's usually just about 10 of us doing the work. So on various levels, we have to pool our resources together to get this done, because if we just emulate what St. Lucia is doing, we can be so much further ahead.
Okay, Ray, put your headphones, because we're going to make this interactive. And if zoni pou fè tan, même si nous pou venir semaine prochaine, parce que nous pou éduquer moun la code langage créole là.
D'accord.
Okay, and let's take a few calls, man, because we want this to be very interactive. Good morning to you, Creole Heartbeat. We're on the topic of Creole. In a while, we'll go into our special book that we present to the world, Dominica and the world, Annou Apwann Kwéyòl. Good morning to you, Creole Heartbeat.
Well, moi, apprendre parler créole, mais moi, j'apprends un petit mot, les wadic ça sur la radio, wadic ça piqué tout qui moi, wadic ça fait tout le monde d'affaires avec tout qui. Les wadic, moi, les congrès, les toits, sur toute bataille ou café pour dormir.
Monsieur
No,
Pilfoy.
I am not a Englishman, I'm not a Frenchman, I'm a Dominican, okay? Now, Raymond, I heard you said that you hope the government will help. Is that an organization that you all are forming by yourself to revive that patois into the schools? I'd like to know. Because why I'm saying that, a lot of parents now is trembling because they speak patois for the children not to understand the circumstances of life and their death. So if you all are introducing that, that is a very good thing, because why? We are losing everything that we have. And what I'm vexed about now is children making children. So there is no grandmother in the house to speak the patois for that child. And
Try and make it quicker, caller. Try and make it quicker, caller,
okay,
because we want to.
I closing up. And that is a problem for the child. So I congratulate you all for what you all are doing. Take it to the street corners. You see smoke that in the corner now. So if all you bring that fire of patois, Awadix make a little CD. Raymond know how to do it, and make a little $5 string so you can get a little contribution to buy some books and things.
Thank you very much. But
Dominica will survive before you do that.
But by the way,
in closing, Mr. Sterritt, I want you to understand that Raymond and Wadix is doing something good for the country. So put a little money and send the minister to help them, and the children will have to graduate. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, caller. Passionate caller. Ray, I'm not sure if you want to kind of clarify the role of KEC.
KEC has been there for
Because KEC has been there for a
new
while.
organization.
It's not a new organization.
It's not
yes?
a new organization. No, as I mentioned earlier, KEC has been there for 43 years. It was founded in 1981, so it's been there for a very long time. I mentioned that it was started in the time when Bully was chief cultural officer, so that was a very long time. And yeah, one of the main goals and missions of KEC, of course, is to help promote and preserve the language. Because as we mentioned earlier, you can, if you don't use it, you can lose it easily.
That's a nice slogan, If you don't use it, you can lose it.
Yeah.
What people have to, what we want people to understand is that the Journée Creole nous a célébré chaque année. c'est commencé. C'est qu'est-ce qui commencé?
Not only
Heritage Day. C'est
no,
qu'est-ce qui commencé?
let us re-emphasize that. Started it globally.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Dominica, okay, Keck and Dominica was the first to organize Journée Creole.
Yes.
Globally.
Yes.
There was no Journée Creole nowhere else in the world.
Precisely.
Nowhere
Yes.
else.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
important
That
to
is
note.
important for
Yeah.
people to note, you know, that I mean nowadays you people and there are a lot of people who don't know that. So we need them to know c'est qui commence Journée Creole et puis Journée Héritage. All right. Now Heritage Day is
Different.
organized on different levels. It's a more of a government thing and so. And Journée Creole has become and the capacity concern.
Ouais, on nous continue parce qu'à présent, c'est Abimala. Abimala, mon aimé habillé, mon aimé manger, mais yo parler Creole là. Let's take a few calls because Ray, I tell you have to get set for coming here because we have to educate the people because that's our we can't be doing all the work behind the scenes and don't give them the opportunity. Good morning, Creole Heartbeat.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Congratulations, gentlemen, on your efforts to save the Creole language. Et si vous dites en Creole, c'est bon aussi. Si vous pas servi, ou qui pédi.
Aïe, I love that even more.
Si vous pas servi,
ou qui pédi. Wherever so feel for it. I love that.
Good slogan. That's a good
I love
One
that.
little contribution I want to make. According to Dr. Leonard Honeychurch in the Dominica story, one example of an African word in the Creole language, they bonda.
Yes.
Came from West Africa.
Yes.
Quote from an authoritative source.
Yes. That's correct.
Yes.
Have a nice day.
Yeah. Thank you very much. More calls coming in for the CAC members here this morning. Creole Heartbeat, good morning.
Hello, morning, Wadi.
Good morning to you, my dear.
Morning.
Sonia Pa, also Simon.
Yes, Simon. I want to congratulate the committee on a job well done. I myself have my books there, Wadi. And every other week I decide I go in it, you know, Wadi.
You have your new book, Annou Apwann Kwéyòl?
Yes, and I go in all three words a day or so. You know how I can. So I learning something new.
Great.
But a suggestion I wanted to make, I don't know if you all do that. I think you need to advertise the books more. I don't know if you all could get a sponsor, you know, to advertise that, you know, you'll have the books, the cost, and so on.
Okay, excellent.
That's a suggestion I have.
Excellent.
And then another suggestion I heard Raymond spoke about it, the schools. Probably the schools need to have a copy, you know, in their schools so that the children could look at the books, you know, and entice them to buy a copy. Because I find it's very, very, it's a pretty book, very interesting. You understand? You pick that up, you're bound to buy a copy. All right.
Thank you very much.
Wadix, let me add very quickly. I'm happy we're talking about the schools, but we also have many Dominica organizations around the world.
Yes.
So if we can encourage them as well to get copies, to distribute with their members, to encourage their members to pick up those books. I mean, we have organizations, you know, in the US, Canada, the UK, all the Caribbean islands. Imagine if they were to support this initiative and get copies, have their members get copies, it would take us a long way. And I just wanted to piggyback very quickly on what the guy said about the $5 donation. So we know a lot of organizations are asking for donations, and instead of asking for donations, this is how we are asking people to support us. So we want to give you value for your money. We're not just asking you to make a donation. Of course, if you want to, we will accept it, but make a donation by buying this book. It's only $25.99 on Amazon and $70 at Jay's Bookstore in Roseau.
Okay, thank you very much, Simon. And you can actually monitor the social media, and you can actually find out if there are any questions. More questions for Ray, Sonia, and Simon. Good morning to you, Creole Heartbeat. Okay, we lost that caller, but we have another one coming in. Good morning to you, Creole Heartbeat. Hello, good morning, bonjour.
Good morning, Leroy. What is
Zakabet, boys.
I good.
What's up?
Good morning.
Good morning to you too. Yes, thank you very much.
Good morning, and the beautiful queen.
That is Madam Akpa.
Good morning.
Madam Akpa.
I think that's I put more questions on Bell Bagay Kek Cafe. But on Bagay on Kek some of the kids pretty much Kek.
Pas de problème.
Pour moi, comment comment le gouvernement a supporté quelques. Si nous on 100%, if government is being only 100%. Now the other thing, as we all know, our highest court and one of the most prestigious places in the parliament have checked, and as far as I know, we Creole is not allowed in parliament in Dominica. Am I right, Wadi?
No, if you speak Creole, you must translate it.
You must translate it.
Yeah.
My question is: have Quebec ever written to the government or the powers to allow Creole liberally, just to speak Creole as you want in Parliament? And if not, would you consider that? I'm listening.
Okay, thank you very much, Ray and Sonia.
Yes, well, with regards to speaking of the Creole in Parliament, we have not written officially to government asking them to introduce, the Creole speaking in Parliament. No, but we have made suggestions.
But wouldn't the Creole policy take care of all of that?
Right. So then
we are working on the Creole policy.
We've had discussions, with different ministers and so on. We have made the suggestions from time to time, but of course, we need to now take it a step further and to actually write. But you're right, Wadix, that we're now developing a Creole policy, which, God willing, will be approved by Cabinet. And in the Creole policy, we would certainly be speaking to the inclusion of Creole at levels of Parliament and so in Dominica. So we think maybe that the policy will help to help this process of including Creole in Parliament.
In terms of support from government?
And with regard to support from government, I mean, we are closely affiliated with the Cultural Division. Remember, we're in a sort of a subcommittee. So we do get support from the Cultural Division. And even while I was in the Cultural Division, we would be there to support KEC. So that's a sort of type of government support that's there. And then I mentioned that we have been working with the Ministry of Education with regards to the introduction of Creole in schools. So that's another collaborative effort with one of the ministries of government. What would be good if government maybe could give us a sort of a subvention,
an allocated subvention, budgetary
towards our work, and that would be wonderful if we could be allocated some funds. And also to provide greater support with our programs by facilitating, for instance, the teaching of Creole in schools. Yeah. If they could provide greater support in that area, because we must go through Ministry of Education to be able to have greater inclusion of the teaching of Creole in schools. So there are areas where, yes, government can play a bigger role, a greater role, and not just government alone, but private sector. I mean, business places can do things at their businesses.
Business places can purchase 10, 12, 15 books and distribute it to their...
Yes.
Because, because I remember once, at some point in time during Creole Day, lots of businesses would attempt to speak the language during the day. Apart from this, it's been on radio, but then you hardly find that those days that people attempting to speak the language at the various businesses. Mm-hmm. So one way you could do it is purchase several books and distribute it to your workforce, to your employees.
Yes.
And very important, Ray, KEC members is voluntary work. Thousands and thousands of hours. Imagine Sonia. Sonia is there from the inception. KEC is now 43 years. Yeah. So when you multiply 43 by several years, that's why we need to big you guys up. I remember people like Jamala, people like Felix Henderson, Gregory Rabbits, my word, Allington James, the late Sonia, Lloyd, Ophelia, Oliver Chimbery, Gordon Henderson was there from the beginning, who thinks, by the way, and that is very important, that if we, Creole is like a side thing, as we speak. But if we do like, let's say, Haiti, and have it like an official language, it would get more precedent. It would get more force, more recognition. Because the way it is presently, it is not compulsory. It's not even in schools. But then he thinks that if we have it like a language, an official language, then the language policy would kind of give, a set of commands and rules and areas we can use. You can have more signage. Every community, both English and in Creole, bienvenue à Ozo, bienvenue à l'hôpital. You know where I'm coming from? So the children, all visitors and all even English visitors will be able to see how important the Creole. We are truly now going to be a Creole, not just saying we have World Creole Music Festival and we are the capital of Creole, and 90% say Anglais.
There's a lot involved there, and to give a language of official status, there's a lot involved, right? And it will be a process. Mais nous pas savoir espérer tout ça.
Non, mais
Jacques commencé faire bagay, faire pli avec Créole.
Mais c'est ça moi t'ai vini aussi ça c'est ça moi t'ai voulu nous discuter à présent parce que cette ici tout est sur d'autres radio là mercredi même mercredi là nous trouver information cette ici qui commence Créole à toute l'école à septembre.
Okay.
St. Lucia will be introducing Creole in all schools from September. We know that it is spoken all over, including Parliament, but now it's going to be official as part of the curriculum from the school year 2024 to 2025. All schools in St. Lucia will be learning Creole as a language, not no dialect, not no kind of on the side thing, as a language like Spanish, like French, and that is the kind of thing I think we need to do. St. Lucia is not just talking, but they walking the walk. I'm not sure where maybe you want to may tell me where we allow St. Lucia to surpass us. We allow
Moun St. Lucie parle Créole. Moun St. Lucie ka parle Créole, ka parle Créole tout partout. Yo ka parle Créole à Castries, yo ka parle Créole ces villages là. Mais est-ce Dominique? Moun pa ka parle Créole. Si ou ale Gouambé, Bécaz, moun ka parle Créole, mais Wozo, c'était haïtien là, ou Pétan yo, yon de moun ka parle Créole ba. Comme ça, ce problème là, c'est si moun ni pour faire plus effort pour parler Créole.
Mais regardez cette ici, and ni seulement la Martinique côté yo.
Oui,
mais nous Guadeloupe et Martinique.
Et puis changer Guadeloupe, à tant longtemps. Mon sorti Guatans. Moun horde Guatans, cottage pen.
Ouais.
Yo te kale Guadeloupe pour
Guadeloupe de Marigalan.
Marigalan te pi Guadeloupe. Yo pa te ka vini Wozo.
C'est pas une question. Wadikole te ka jouer. Et puis il y a temps mon Anzi me dit moi il a boisson. He's going to get his drinks. That's that. So kila ukale chercher ça 5 o'clock mokawe ça kita ukale Wozo. Marigalan bugla kale chercher tout boisson.
Non c'est pas yo pa te ka vini Wozo.
Yo pa te ka vini Wozo pour chercher. C'est Marigalan tout pour là so nous y a connexion pour people là. Okay. Ray, let's take it more calls because like I tell you, prepare yourself to come next week because this is yes, that's how we do it. And then I have to put you on the spot in a while, so start thinking, how Keck going to have a program on QFM? I'll talk to Mr. Gregoire. So we're not going to make we're going to have our own program. Okay, good morning to you, Creole Heartbeat.
Yes, what is the morning?
Where?
Yeah, what is our style of dress? To me, the suit jack was a lot more Creole looking than the suit. The British suit choking us and having a suit tire in Parliament. That the Prime Minister always have his handkerchief on his forehead. To me, in style of dress, we've gone backward. We've gone back to that suit in
British.
Parliament. We have to chart our own course. We cannot keep with those colonial guys and their inappropriate clothing for the tropics. That's what's on there.
Merci.
Let me also add very quickly as well. Huh?
Where was Sabali?
Oh, yes. Let me add very quickly because I want somebody to verify this for me. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm also hearing that we are actually accommodating Haitians with with Haitian Creole, certain areas of the hospital. I think it's where you go pay your bills, and even at some of the money transfer
Yes,
areas.
that's correct. That's correct.
I'm hearing that we are making accommodations for Haitians who do not speak English. So that to me is worrisome, because that is saying that we're valuing the fact that they don't speak English, but then we're not promoting our own Creole language in Dominica. And students have to wait until they get to the state college, where we have Miss Lena Luke, a member of CAG, the first person to earn a master's degree in Creole, where she's teaching Creole. Right? So you have to wait until you get to the state college to be able to be offered a course in Creole language. And then the complaint is always, well, where are we going to fit it into the curriculum if you put it in the primary schools, the secondary schools? How is St. Lucia doing it? How is St. Lucia
One of the ways they're doing it is
They
they have...
St. Luke's primary, you know, because as I said, St. Luke's primary,
Continue.
Annou Apwann Kwéyòl,
Continue.
two
Yeah.
class St. Luke's, two class from grade 1 or whatever until
What you
grade
said.
7. You can faire Kwéyòl à l'école ça là.
Anou ba l'école livre là, puis parce que zone movie là la semaine prochaine. OK, Simon, zone movie là la semaine prochaine.
Yeah, d'accord.
Anou ba l'école livre là, Anou Apwann Kwéyòl pour
Livre là, c'est
Ouais.
non livre là, c'est Annou Apwann Kwéyòl.
Kwéyòl.
Let us learn Kwéyòl.
So tell us
Okay?
about the...
So this book is really a guide for anybody who wants to learn Kwéyòl. I mean, we've made it attractive for young people, because we have a lot of there's a lot of color, a lot of photos, and the print makes it easy. So first we have we have an introduction, basic introduction, and so then we have the table of contents. We have the
Let's go over
we
the
have
table of contents. Let's go over the table of contents.
Okay, the table
Un
of
important
contents.
nous faire certain tout le
Okay,
monde comprend
we
ça nous dit.
have the table of contents. We have what we have in the book is modules. Okay, module 1, module 2. So that so module 1, for example, is what is Kwéyòl. We give a little brief thing on Kwéyòl and the language and so on. Then we have the writing system. Kuma munka ekwi Kwéyòl. Okay, so that is
Parce que ça est important, parce qu'il y a pile monde,
important.
il y a pile monde qui savent parler.
T'as pas dit pas ça écrit.
Yo pasa ekwi.
Et puis moun ka ekwi
Ça
ça
you
yo play. Les check fois yo ka mette français c'est pas Kwéyòl.
No.
Our writing system is different. One sound for every letter, and I won't say letter because we have some with 2 letters, but it's one sound. Cause where letter A, the pronunciation is A. Toujours A. It's not like English. You have A. You have A for able, apple, ten, tout ça. A is A. Patate.
Mango.
No, mango c'est mango
And
different.
A.
Mango.
A-N.
So that's A-N. Okay? Matsla. That's an A. Chat. What? Okay? What by bal. A. So every symbol you see in Creole is always pronounced the same way. All right? That is the difference. We have more vowels because en Creole, ça nous a qui est nasals. Là où tu comme si tu as dit en maman. Okay? Maman. Temps mauvais. All right? So we have a lot of nasals. And then so the everything, the writing system is explained very well here. And we have examples. All right? Then in between the modules, so for example, we have a module on greetings, we have one in the classroom, we have making friends, family, we have days of the week, months of the year, parts of the body, things in the house, all of that are the modules. But in between that, we have a section called Mi Dominicnu, and that is where we present information on Dominica's culture. Okay, so Mi Dominicnu, ini musique, ini manger Kwéyòl, ini had Kwéyòl, ini tout kate bagay asu kilti Dominic in between the modules. So it's more than just the learning the language, information on Dominica's culture. Nous ni aussi Powerball. Nous ni déclare Powerball, nous ni
I know buy you the Powerball. I know tape section kini Powerball. DJ Shan nasuli alikola puisa. DJ Shan, here's your pencil and your book. DJ Shan alikola tape section the Powerball. I know buy you the Powerball. Et puis nous va expliquer.
Chien pas qu'à faire chat. Vous j'attends ça?
Chien pas qu'à faire chat.
Like father, like son. Apprends
Chien pas qu'à faire chat.
C'est un tease, c'est une mauvaise maladie. Okay? Laziness is a bad trait. Guamoun say we made. Older persons have lots of experience and they can give advice. Guamoun say we made. Literally saying big people are like medicine. There's so much you can learn from them. Okay? Has their needs away.
The walls of
Be
ears.
careful what you say where. Has their needs away.
Bush.
So be careful what you say.
No, halibut.
Away, Mama put it there. That's a great song, a fantastic song. That whole song is powerful. Okay, the whole song. I love that song. Pity Zozio Cafe niche. Little by little. You do, you do things little by little. Pashache sa pamiti. Don't be inquisitive. Pashache sa pamiti. Don't look for what you didn't put. All right, a translation, but it's don't be inquisitive. Piti kavini guan. Things change. Your mama no piti. De na kat nane venane no guan. Okay. Sao fair sao way. What you sow is what you j'attends ça. Sao fair sao way. What you sow is what
you sow is what you reap.
I need to give you some lessons.
What you sow is what you reap.
Another one, ça m'a dit ça fait ça tout le temps. C'est l'argent qui a fait l'argent. Invest your money. C'est l'argent qui a fait l'argent. Ça sert l'argent.
Money, that's making more money. So you invest your money.
Invest your money. See, bon.
That's my favorite. Listen to the meaning. See,
if something is good, say
it's good. See, Pavo.
Tous les jours, c'est pas Noël. We say that in Dominica.
Of course.
Every day is not Christmas. Tous les jours, c'est pas Noël. It's not every day you can have a good time. Sometimes, some days, things will be a little difficult. Topo ese pa café juve.
Song in it.
Topo ese
pa café juve. It's a song. On the last kind of song is
so some people driving to work and they busy driving faster. Topo ese, what it means is that even if you're very busy, it doesn't mean that day will break sooner. Okay, right. So but in English, more haste, less speed. Okay, e yola make a la velote. One hand washes the other. We need each other. We cannot be
come together.
Those we have a book, Keknioli, avec 600 Powerball.
500.
There's so much wisdom. There's so much wisdom in those proverbs. You know those sayings. And as I say, Halibut song is a really great song because the whole song is powerful.
Okay, so tell us about the linguists who prepared the book.
Okay, so it's Charlene White Christian. She works to the Ministry of Education. Margaret Celestine, she also works to the Ministry of Education.
Who is also the
she's
rep for CXC.
Right. So the three of us were the ones that really put the material together. But the beautiful layout and so on, the photos, Jordan Jerome did the cover. Marita Hayes did the layout and the pictures. We want to give credit to Chad Ambo. We got some from the Division of Culture. We got some from DDA, Ministry of Education and DFC. And we also got photographs from Jordan Jerome, Arlington James, and Gregory Rabes. And I want to also mention the editing because nous écrivons là, mais nous aider nous pour faire certains tout
bagay ensemble.
Right. So Delia, Coffee Weeks, Arlington James, Gregory Rabes, of course Raymond, and all the other members of CARE.
À nous pour appel. Messieurs, mesdames, nous live. C'est que tout le monde bien. À nous pour appel rapidement, messieurs, mesdames. Bonjour, nous sur QFM.
Good morning to Wadix and Yokanya. Very good program Wednesday. Exceptional program today. like when you stayed on the both stations.
Thank you.
Quick observation regarding the use of patois in Parliament. This is ours. A few years ago, we introduced the colonial backward thing of hats in Parliament. Was there any policy or consultation done before that was implemented? This is backwards thousands of years. And not even in the House of Lords in England they have hats, but we have brought hats in Dominica without policy or anything. So we can easily bring back Creole without touching. It's always say something to Parliament, okay? Because look how this is chapeau, mon langlite, Kai Parliament.
D'accord.
Merci. D'accord.
Merci a pile. Well, one of the things I would want us to do, Sonia, is to go over, at least choose one of the modules. Let us go over so that we can give our viewers and our listeners an idea of a module. Choose any of the modules.
All right, so let us look at module Akaila.
Akaila, right.
At home.
So we're going to both English, we're going to explain.
Yes, so
English
first we start with what we call a vocabulary builder. So we're going to give you different things that you find in the house: sham, bedroom, cuisine, kitchen.
Now we go over the, as we say in the Creole, let's go over the English.
La porte, door, mash, steps, fauteuil, roof, plafond, ceiling, lasta, living room, puivi, toilet, salle manger, dining room, fenêtre, window, jardin, garden, la cour, yard. So that's some of the house. And then we give items in the house. Fridge, and that is an English borrowing, c'est ça sorti en anglais. Refrigerator, tab, table, canapé, sofa, tiware, drawer, matelas, mattress, cabane, bed, lamp, window, curtain, stove, another borrowing from English, stove, chambre, bathroom. So we give that list. Then we have, of course, we always have a nice little photo. So we have this one of an old house and compliments Maricia Honeychurch. And then we have a little exercise. So now that we have the vocabulary, before that, we would have given a little grammar. So for example, before that, in previous modules, we would say, okay, for present tense, you use ka, marker, a marker, ka. Okay, moun kwe patika fè la vi yo, wè nou sav. No conjugation. Ka, mwen ka pale, ou ka pale, I ka pale, yo ka pale, nou tout ka pale, zo ka pale, every ka pale. We don't have to add E or change anything. So that would be a
ka, was carry an African word.
It's an African word. It's an African word. So that's where it comes from. Future now would be K. Deme, mwen ke ale la place. Alright, so ke. Deme, semaine prochaine, mwen ke ale Guatans. So we use markers for our tennis.
Nou ke wè ou tout ale.
Some people use it and they don't even aware that is what we use for the
yes.
So for the future, so we have and then for the past now, we have nothing at all. Okay? Semaine passée, mwen ale wozu. All right? And then we also have mwen te ale wozu, which means I had gone. Kwéyòl well organized, Moun pasa, Kwéyòl well organized. Mwen ale, I went. Mwen te ale, I had gone. Okay? So that is those markers. And then we have, for plural, say, we have another marker. So we're not adding S to anything in Kwéyòl. Say Zanfala, the child. Say Zanfala, the children. Tiboila, the boy. Say Tiboila, the boys. Say Kaila, the houses. Say Tifia, the girls. So it's always say. Okay? So the exercise in the module on the home, we have Ekwiyon tilistwe asuti kai Kwéyòl sal. Servi limeo, kule, epidot mo uja apwan. And we have the English, write a short story about this traditional small Creole house. Use numbers, colors, and other words that you have learned. So we give the photo and then you describe it because you already have the vocabulary that you need to describe it. Okay? And then here we have another exercise where we have different parts of the house and you're supposed to put what goes where. So for example, we have a Cicero parrot. And then we put an arrow. So it says Sisewa Olaye You stay where it is, whether it is en Chamla, à la Sala, à Cuisine-la, and so on. So each module has an exercise, and then after the module, we have another one. Mi Dominique, no, danse traditional dance. And then you have the information on Dominica's culture. So that is, but and then at the back of this book, we have like a mini dictionary, a glossary. So to give you more words that you can learn, right? And then we also have, we've been doing Mo Kwéyòl, Mo Kwéyòl,
Mo Kwéyòl is here. Mr. Gregoire, I hope you listen to Mr. Sheridan Gregoire. Mo aussi. Tout le monde l'a dit, moi, je voulais Kwéyòl sur QFM. Right. So Raymond, all you have to get yourself ready because Mr. Sheridan has agreed. So everything is in place now. What is thinking about it? If we have to make this thing move, the more it's in, it's available from the experts, from the people who write, who present the material. That's how people learn. I'm always amazed, and I see with Felix lots of times that he would teach the Peace Corps volunteers.
I thought Peace Corps.
And I myself, white people coming and learning Creole, and we class in Dominica, we struggle.
And they were learning fast,
Very quick.
Yes, I thought Peace Corps. There was a particular young man. He was in Penville. He was
in a Creole place.
Oh, Mr. Tekapali. Après 6 semaines, Mr. Tekapali Kwéyòl constant. 6 weeks. Yeah, he was. They learned quickly because nous la kadi moun jen moun pa ka pale Creole. C'est nous qui ni pou apprendre Creole.
So Ray, I want confirmation. Next week Friday we'll be back here with more modules. Madame Apwann, moi ça vous occuper. Moi ça vous toujours. On est venir là, c'est vous de la vle. Simon is there. We have to do it.
Moi d'accord.
If you cannot come, Magali or Charlene, well, we know Charlene already. But then we have to come. We have to make sure that we have the opportunity. Creole Heartbeat next week. We're going to be going again more in depth into the book itself. Simon, can you tell us where we can, where people can purchase the book, both online and locally?
Yes, Wadix. Bamwani disa live sala pa selma pou moun komwe ki bezwe Apwann Kwéyòl. Live sala se tout moun ki fet a Dominic me yo fe zafayo lot peyi. Ko moun ki fet a Dominic pitet yo sa pale Kwéyòl me yo fe zafayo or a lot place. Eve yo vle yo se zafala kopon Kwéyòl, yo vle yo se zafala ekwi Kwéyòl, pale Kwéyòl. So live sala se pour tout moun ki vle Apwann Kwéyòl. So let me say this in English as well. It's for everyone who was born in Dominica. You were speaking Creole in Dominica, but now you've migrated. Your children were born outside of Dominica, but you want to pass on your Creole heritage, your Creole culture. And one person comes in mind. She posted a comment on Facebook. Her name is Glenise Joseph. She's a friend of mine. She is from Montserrat, but her husband is from Dominica. I know they have 2 girls, so this would be perfect for them. And she says, genius move to include a module on the writing pronunciation system. Very nice. And everybody else who posted on Facebook, I promise I'm going to come back and read your comments and respond to you. So thank you for posting. But with regards to where folks can get the book, very important. This is the very first KEG book to be available for sale online. So we so appreciate your support. So if you're listening via the radio, you can simply go to Q95FM Radio on Facebook and YouTube. Q95 FM Radio, Facebook, on YouTube. I have posted the link to the book in the description of this program, so you can simply click on the book. Many people did this when we were on the program on Wednesday. Simply click on the link and it will take you straight to Amazon. If you do not have access to Facebook and YouTube, you can simply go to Amazon.com and enter the words Annou, which is ANNOU. ANNOU, Apwann, APWANN, and you will already see the name of the book is going to pop up, and you just click on the buy option. And also remember, it is $25.99, a minimum price for such a treasure. And also Jay's Bookstore in Dominica, $70. You can get your copy. We're trying to work to get even more copies into Dominica because we know that there's a lot of excitement that everybody wants a copy of this book. And if you're having any issues with ordering ordering the book, you can simply email me at pushpast10@gmail.com. So pushpast10@gmail.com, and I will be happy to walk you through what you need to do to get your copy. So again, Wadix merci pour nous venir ici pour parler créole, pour dire tout le monde côté Annou Apwann Kwéyòl. C'était un bien plaisir pour venir ici pour parler, and I'm looking forward. If you guys want to do it again, I am available
Next Friday.
and ready to push the language. And so important that we continue lessons, we continue the momentum, so that this is not the last time. The lady talked about advertising. We need to continue promoting this very important initiative. So anything that is available, we'll be happy to take it. Well, I'll be happy to take advantage to push our language.
Okay, Ray, but time has run out on us now. So just quick and confirmation next week. We'll have a team here. Next week, Friday, we'll have a team. Where man, see Magali living in But just before we leave, just want to pick up somebody who is listening to from, and she's a linguist also from Guadeloupe, Paulette John Baptist. I'm actually going to be working with her. You know Paulette, I think she knows, of course. And she's listening, by the way, and this is a very special. She have Dominica, I think she's married Dominican. Right, she's listening, and she just want to big up Keck for the work that Keck is doing. She's listening in Guadeloupe. So guys, until next week Friday.
Yes.
Okay. Creole, Creole, monsieur, mesdames, nouvelle qui vient à tout à l'heure, monsieur, Wadix TV, faut pas l'enlever. Quand on écoute les bacs à monsieur, notre navire, monsieur, mesdames, nouvelle, tout de suite, monsieur.
Merci, Wadix.
Pas pour arrêter, bah mon plein là, yon mange à quitter la vie. Apprécier ça, yon café qu'on yon a parmi nous aujourd'hui. La fait mauvais valet, bien non, nous qu'a consider mon épi. Pour nous connaître, pour meilleur fait pour nous tout ça bénéfice. For only wonders you done for us all, spreading the culture all over the world. For only good thing that you done for God, that's what it is. We thanking you, brother.